Hi, everyone. This is English with Caitlin, an English listening podcast. Today's episode's title Buying a House at 22. Today, I have a story to tell you. It's about how I bought my own house when I was 22 years old. Yes, I owned my own house. I worked like crazy and I saved up all of my money. But why? Why did I want a house? Did I need a house to own? Why not just stay in an apartment? Why not just stay with family or friends? Why buy a house? Let's start at the beginning. I was a young 22-year-old university student. I had moved away from my small hometown when I was 21. I moved to a university town. It wasn't a big city, but it wasn't small either. As of today, there are around 170,000 people living there. When I moved there at 21 years old, I stayed in an apartment with a friend. It was a really old, cheap apartment. The rent was low, it was cheap. Our room was in a half basement, so half of it above ground and half of it below ground. I was really a workaholic from 18 to 21. But from 21 to 22, oh, I cannot explain how obsessed I was with working and earning money. It was not normal. Being obsessed means you really, really like something a lot and you think about it all the time. In the United States, you can start drinking alcohol at the age of 21. Most people are so excited to turn 21. They can finally go to the store and buy beer or go to the bar and order a drink. But for me, I can't remember, but I am 100% sure I worked on my 21st birthday. I wanted money more than I wanted to celebrate. I wasn't interested in partying or drinking. So I was going to university and living in an old, cheap apartment with my roommate, and I was working a lot. Let me tell you about my weekly schedule and let me tell you about why I bought the house. Okay, so why a house? Why buy a house? I worked so much from 21 to 22. I was always working at two part time jobs. I even worked at three part time jobs for a short time. Yes, three jobs and university classes all in the same week. I would usually work mornings at one job and nights at the other job. And on my days off, I had full days of back to back university classes. Back to back means something happening one right after the other. Back to back. I didn't have days off. Even on holidays, I worked. Christmas, New Year's, Easter. I remember I was always working. Maybe if I did have a day off, I would be sleeping. I became obsessed with making money. I stopped hanging out with my friends and I stopped visiting my family. I only wanted to work more and more. Even my university grades, my university scores, started to go down. And I wanted to make the best out of my money. I felt that renting was a waste of money. The rent for my apartment. Every month I paid the rent, that money was just gone every month. So I started thinking, what if I bought a house? The money I would pay every month, it wouldn't just be gone. It would be going to my house, something I owned. Once this thought came into my mind, I couldn't stop. I started looking online at houses. I started working even more hours. I was working so much, I even stopped going to my university classes. Yes, I stopped going to school. I was only worried about making and saving money. The days I went to school, those days became work days. Wow, no school? I can work 7 days a week now. This is how I thought back then. I do regret my school grades at that time. I had really low scores. I would have to retake a few classes. And guess what? That cost money. I regret my obsession with money. I wish I would have enjoyed life more back then. But I am enjoying life now. Anyways, the house. One day I saw a house online for sale. I really liked it, so I thought, why not go and look at it? I can just go to the area and look around, see how the neighborhood is. Without knowing, there was an open house there. An open house is when the house is for sale and the realtor, the person who helps to sell the house or owner, opens up the house. Anyone who is interested can come in the house and have a look around. Open house. I thought, it must be destiny. It must be fate. I went inside the house and looked around. I saw the bedrooms, the kitchen, the bathrooms, the living room. It felt like home. My home. I had no idea what to do next. So I went to the realtor. She was a nice older woman. She was greeting people who arrived and helping show them around the house. I went up to her and said, I want to buy this house. Just like that. I want to buy this house. Thankfully, she took me seriously. When someone takes you seriously, it means they believe what you're saying is important or true. They don't laugh at you or ignore you. They listen carefully and treat you with respect, like you really mean what you're saying. I was a young 22-year-old student. The realtor could have laughed at me and told me to get out, but she didn't. She helped me and told me what I needed to do next. After that, everything went by so quickly. I went to the bank, I did a lot of paperwork, I got a loan, borrowing money from the bank, more paperwork, checking the house. I don't remember how long it took, but once the last of the paperwork was finished, I finally got the keys to the house. My keys to my house. 5 years after buying my house, I sold my house. And now I am living in a different country. It's funny, right? You never know what your future will be like. I thought I would live in that house forever. I learned a lot, so I don't regret buying a house at 22 years old. I do regret how much I had to work. I missed a lot of holidays and time with my friends and family. And it took me a long time to actually finish university. These days, I remind myself it is okay to rest. It is okay to take time off from work. Money will come and go, but friends and family, they are more important. Thank you for listening. I'll be back next week with a new episode. That is all for today. Bye bye.